If you have a pond which is about 250 feet times 150 feet and 10 feet deep, then you buy about 50 to 60 largemouth bass. They start to spawn at a temperature around 68 degrees. Make sure that you buy it from an authorized fish farm and that you have all the permits from the states to put fish into your pond. Prepare the pond carefully by raking away leaves and debris along the side of the pond so you get a clear gravel bottom. But keep the roots from the trees because that's where the largemouth bass like to lay their eggs. You can see on this picture here how they spawn together and lay their eggs. The main problem with this is to get all the bluegills to not eat up the eggs during the spawning process. It's really difficult to see the eggs where they have spawned. So it takes a couple of days, then you will notice the eggs because some of the eggs have not been fertilized and they turn then yellow, and then it's easier to find exactly the spot where they have spawned. They lay about 50,000 eggs, so basically if you want to move it over to an aquarium, you cut a little bit of these roots away from the spawning place and you can put that in the aquarium. But if you take too much of it, then you're going to have really difficult to feed all these baby fish in your aquarium. You also have to make sure that in your state you have a permit to take up fish eggs and fries from the pond, which could be a problem. You can detect the eggs after a couple of days because some of them has not been fertilized. So you see, for example, the yellow egg there very clearly, but there are thousands of fertilized eggs around that egg, which if you're very good, you can see them as well. If you like, cut away a little piece of the roots and move it over to your aquarium and have the fries hatch in your aquarium. After a couple of days, the eggs start to hatch and the fries start to swim around in your aquarium. Now you need to get food for the newly hatched fries. So you go to the fish store and buy brain shrimps, and then you have to hatch them because they will only eat live foods. Over in this corner we have some hatched fish which eat an enormous amount of food, so the big difficulty is to feed them enough food. This is just about 50 fries and you need to get them a lot of live food for them to survive. Well, just about an hour later, now they start to move around and start to eat. So now we see a lot of movement of the baby fish in the aquarium eating the food now here. This is about 50 largemouth bass which going into my large pond now. And you finally have put a lot of air into the pond to get the water clean and nice. Raked all the leaves from the side of the pond on shallow water, so you have a good place for the bass to spawn. And they start to spawn when it's about 65 degrees Fahrenheit, and here comes all the bluegills and eat all the eggs and fries who you created. So to take care of that, I have developed a very inexpensive little cage which you can use for putting the fries in there, or the largemouth bass, to protect them from the bluegills. Very simple. You use one pipe up there, either electrical type of pipe to protect electrical cables, or whatever plastic pipe you have, and then you have one at the bottom. I also put in a couple of weights in there, which could be anything. I put some coated stainless steel pipe at the bottom to do this, and then I don't sew anything. I just make a knot at the bottom so I can open the bottom up and let out the debris in the cage here, which will accumulate at the bottom over time. At the top here I'm using a ring and then standard floating device which you have around the pipe when you isolate the pipe in the basement and so on, and you put that as a floating device up there, and then you can tie it to the air system you have in the pond, so you have zooplankton and so on who can flow through those small holes in these curtains here. And at the top of everything you need to put a little cover up there to prevent the other animals to come into these things and eat your fish. As usual, my favorite place to buy stuff, IKEA, and this is what you buy. It's come 2 of those curtains in it, so it will give you the main frame and also one for the top cover here. Of course you have to, the only thing you need to do is to sew this, put a seam together and sew these things together from top to bottom, and then you have created your cage to protect your largemouth bass or catfish or whatever type of small fish you want to protect from the other ones. And good luck. After a year the bass will be about this size.